In the world of pharmaceutical manufacturing, ensuring product quality is paramount. Process validation is the key to making sure every pill, vial, or capsule meets strict quality standards, ensuring safety and effectiveness. Think of process validation as the ultimate dress rehearsal for your manufacturing process. It's about ensuring every step works perfectly, every single time, building confidence in delivering high-quality medicines that patients depend on. Process validation is a systematic approach to gathering evidence that a process consistently performs as intended. It's about proving that your process does what it's supposed to do, every batch, every time. Why not just test the final product? Because robust in-process controls are essential for quality. Validation changes how we approach quality, ensuring every step is up to standard before the final product is tested. Quality can't be tested in, it must be built in from the start. Understanding sources of variation and controlling them before they impact product quality is crucial for consistent results. Process validation offers real benefits: reduced scrap, less rework, higher productivity, and patient protection. It's about catching problems early and ensuring every dose is safe and effective. A successful validation strategy is built on core principles that create a comprehensive quality system. Let's explore the foundation that supports every effective validation program. Deep process understanding is crucial. Know your process inside out, identify critical parameters, and understand where variability can creep in. Tools like risk assessment and design of experiments are invaluable here. Validation is a continuous journey, following your product from concept through commercial production. It involves process design, qualification, and continued verification to ensure control over time. A risk-based mindset focuses validation efforts where they matter most, protecting patient safety and ensuring product quality. Use tools like FMEA to identify and mitigate high-risk areas in your process. In validation, data is king. Statistical techniques transform measurements into meaningful evidence, proving your process is stable, capable, and understood. Tools like SPC provide the necessary foundation. Navigating the regulatory landscape means understanding what regulators expect. The good news is that while requirements may vary slightly by region, the fundamental principles are harmonized globally. The FDA emphasizes a three-stage lifecycle for validation: design, qualification, and continued verification. It expects validation to be grounded in sound scientific principles and proportionate to risk. Annex 15 of the EU GMP guidelines stresses lifecycle integration, quality by design, and risk management. These principles are essential for anyone validating processes in Europe or exporting to European markets. The IC provides a framework that bridges regional differences and creates a unified approach to validation. It includes guidelines for pharmaceutical development, risk management, and quality systems. Choosing your validation path depends on your product, process, and manufacturing capabilities. Understanding the options helps you select the strategy that fits your situation best. Different types of process validation include traditional, continuous, hybrid, and concurrent validation. Each has its best use case and key features, offering flexibility for diverse manufacturing environments. Traditional validation is the gold standard for established processes, involving prospective validation before routine production. It's best for mature processes with predictable behavior and control strategies. Continuous process verification uses real-time data and statistical process control to ensure the process remains in control continuously. It's ideal for highly automated facilities with PAT tools. Hybrid validation combines traditional and continuous methods, offering flexibility for complex processes. It's a well-justified strategy that balances standardization and risk-based thinking. Concurrent validation should only be used in exceptional circumstances where the patient benefit significantly outweighs the risk of not having prospective validation data. In practice, validation activities occur during routine production rather than before it begins, typically for orphan drugs, emergency situations, or one-time production runs. Extensive justification and enhanced controls are required, and regulatory pre-approval is often necessary. Building on years of industry experience and regulatory expectations, these best practices will help you create a validation strategy that stands up to scrutiny and delivers real quality benefits. Embrace ongoing monitoring and continuous improvement instead of treating validation as a periodic checkbox exercise. Identify, understand, and control process variations. It's the enemy of consistency. Establish your critical process parameters, CPPs, and critical quality attributes, CQAs, right from the process design phase. Design your process to be inherently reliable rather than depending on extensive end product testing. Leverage existing knowledge from development studies, scale-up work, and commercial experience. Document everything to provide evidence and clarity in validation. Investing upfront in understanding saves enormous pain later. Base all validation decisions on statistically sound data and formal risk assessment. Ensure all facilities and equipment are properly qualified and calibrated before process validation. Validation isn't a one-time achievement you can set and forget. The pharmaceutical manufacturing environment is dynamic, materials change, equipment ages, and processes evolve. Understanding when revalidation is necessary protects both product quality and regulatory standing. Changes in suppliers, material grades, or specifications can significantly impact process performance and product quality. Alterations to critical parameters like mixing times, temperatures, pressures, or any step that affects product quality require revalidation. Introduction of new equipment or significant modifications to existing systems can affect process capability. Moving production to a different facility, even within the same company, requires revalidation to account for differences in utilities, equipment, and environment. Different packaging materials or configurations may interact differently with the product or affect stability. Ongoing monitoring shows process performance trending towards specification limits or exhibiting unusual variation. Effective change control is your early warning system for revalidation needs. Every proposed change should be assessed for its potential impact on validated processes. A robust change control system ensures revalidation happens proactively, not reactively after quality issues arise. Let's address some of the most common questions pharmaceutical professionals ask about process validation. These answers cut through confusion and provide practical guidance you can apply immediately. Risk management isn't a separate activity, it's woven throughout the entire validation lifecycle. Tools like failure mode and effects analysis, FMEA, help you systematically identify where your process might fail, allowing you to prioritize control and monitoring efforts. Statistical process control, SPC, uses control charts to monitor process behavior over time. Design of experiments, DO, systematically varies input parameters to understand their effects on outputs. Failure mode and effects analysis, FMEA, identifies potential failure modes, assesses their severity and likelihood, and prioritizes risk mitigation actions. The traditional three-batch approach is grounded in statistical principles and practical experience that spans decades of pharmaceutical manufacturing. It provides a high degree of confidence in process stability and capability, ensuring appropriate sample sizes within each batch. Process capability analysis quantifies how well your process can meet specifications. Key metrics include CP and CPK, which provide greater assurance against specification failures. A CPK of 1.33 or higher is generally considered acceptable for pharmaceutical processes. Process analytical technology represents a paradigm shift in how we monitor and control manufacturing processes. PAT provides continuous, real-time measurements of critical parameters, enabling faster response to deviations and reduced cycle times through real-time release. A validation master plan is your strategic roadmap. It provides a high-level overview of the entire validation program, defining the scope, approach, responsibilities, and schedule for all validation activities. Clearly articulate what will be validated and establish clear accountability throughout the process. Validation requires input from quality, manufacturing, engineering, and R&D working in harmony. Senior leadership must champion validation as a quality imperative, not merely a regulatory burden. Allocate sufficient time, budget, and personnel to execute validation thoroughly without shortcuts. Rushing to validate before fully understanding critical parameters leads to weak validation strategies. Incomplete or unclear documentation undermines even the best validation work. Failing to maintain validated status through ongoing monitoring and periodic review leaves you vulnerable to quality and regulatory issues. The most successful pharmaceutical manufacturers view validation not as a regulatory hurdle but as a business advantage. A well-validated process is more reliable and predictable, less prone to costly investigations and deviations, and more resilient when facing changes or challenges. Process validation is the backbone of quality in pharmaceutical manufacturing. By adopting a lifecycle approach, leveraging risk management principles, and committing to continuous verification, you build a foundation of quality that patients can trust and your organization can be proud of.